Hey guys, what's up? I'm Bubba's coming at you with another D2 video. Today we're finally here. We're at the last part of our class set guide video series. We're finally at the Sorceress Tal Rasha's wrappings. Let's just get right into it. So first off, we've got our stats. We've got +3 to Sorceress skill levels, 25 faster hit recovery, 150 defense, defense first missile, some life, replenish life, some all res, and some magic find. Not too bad. So then we have our swirling crystal, Tal Rasha's lidless eye, and not too bad. We got faster cast rate, cold mastery, lightning mastery, fire mastery, and then we got 10 to energy, plus the life, plus the mana. And then I have it socketed with an Istrun for 30 more magic find. Yeah, all in all, there really are a lot better orbs out there, and Oculus for magic find would be better. Or for cold, you could go Ashuda's or Death Fathom. For lightning, you would go Ashuda's. You know, with our set bonuses here, we're getting 15 to cold skill damage, 15 to enemy lightning resistance, and 15 to enemy fire resistance, and another +1 to all sorceress skills. So all in all, not too bad. It does the job. Next piece we have Tal Rasha's Heraldric Crest Death Mask. We're getting mana steal and life steal. Got defense, life, mana, all res, and I've got it socketed with another ist for 25 magic find. You could put a topaz in here, although it is recommended in a weapon to always go an ist rune. Well, first of all, topaz doesn't work in a weapon for magic find, but ist gives 30% magic find in weapon, so. But you could put topaz for magic find in this. Overall, it's not a terrible helm. It's actually a decent helm to put on a merc. Put this on your mercenary, you get some lifesteal like easy. Also, you could use it for other things with that mana and lifesteal. Not perfect for sorc, but it's not a bad thing. Not a bad item. There are far worse. Although, if you really want a magic find, you would use 3-piece talls, which would be the belt, the chest, the Ami, and probably use like an Oculus and a S or a Shaco. But overall, these two pieces could be better, but they're not terrible. Next, we'll go into the Amulet, +2 to Sorcerer's skill levels. Has added lightning damage, I guess. Has life, mana, lightning resist, and with the set bonus, 10 faster cast rate. Not bad with the set bonus of the 10 faster cast rate, although by itself it has no faster cast rate, so that kind of sucks. But, you know, um, it's not terrible to use by itself, I guess. It's just better if you have more set pieces to get that 10 faster cast rate. Otherwise, you'd probably be just as well off to use like a +3 cold skill, +3 fire skill amulet, and try to find one with 10 faster cast rate on it. Or just a regular 10 faster cast rate amulet. Might be better to hit breakpoints. But if you don't need the faster cast rate, I guess this could be okay by itself. Next piece is the Tal Rasha's Guardianship Lacquered Plate. This sucker gives us some defense, cold res, lightning res, fire res, magic damage reduced by 15, and a whopping like 89 magic find. And you can see we got an Istrun in this bad boy for some more magic find. And then it has requirements -60. All in all, not a terrible chess piece. Gives us resist and magic find. What else could a sorceress want? And that's really why it's a nice piece to use for magic find, because it gives us a lot of magic find. So yeah. And our last piece, we're going to go Tal Rasha's Fine Spun Cloth Mesh Belt. Gives Dex mana. 30% damage taken goes to mana, which is pretty nice. Some magic find and some negative requirements. We get 10 faster cast rate and defense with our stat bonuses, which is pretty nice for a belt. By itself, it's not terrible. You get it 3, again, use all 3 of these pieces for magic find, and it becomes pretty amazing. Yeah, overall, not a bad set. Great for magic finding, which, you know, is kind of crazy because the sorceress is already really good at magic finding. You could put like no gear on, just try to get as much magic find as you want and still do good with the sorceress. So the fact that the set comes with a ton of magic find makes it really nice. And that's what most people do. They use the amulet, the chest, and the belt. And then they'll use whatever, usually like a Shaco. Sometimes a Griffins if they want to go real hard, but I like using Shaco and like an Aussie or a Ashuda's Death Fathom, whatever they decide. Let's get into the rest of the gear. We've got a Spirit Monarch. Very important on this to get as high a faster cast rate as you can. It just helps you hit breakpoints. Try to get that 35, especially with the setup I'm going to show you. Next we have War Travs. Again, good boots and great magic find. And that's why it's really good for this. Then for rings, really just faster cast rate, resistance rings. You can get some magic find on here as well if you want. But all in all, just the 10 faster cast rate. You can even just use blue faster cast rate rings, really. But added res, added mana kind of helps as well. Then for gloves, just some chance guards. Again, just more magic find. That's really all we're looking for on this build, is just try to get our magic find up. And then of course we're using Call to Arms and another spirit just to pump up things. Now, the reason why getting 35 faster cast rate on your spirit, which, you know, it's only Tall Thought or Am, so you're going to have tons of these. Just make sure you always keep those runes. And if you don't know, if you put your rune word, put a Hell rune, and a portal scroll in the cube, it'll unsocket them. You don't get your runes back, but these runes are so common, you can usually have like 15, 20 spirit sets laying around ready to reroll your Monarch. But getting the 35 faster cast rate on this with this setup is super important because we have exactly 105. We have 20, none from this, 30, 40, 50, 65, 75, 85, 95, and 105. So exactly 105 faster cast rate. That gets us our breakpoints we need. Now, I would recommend, I'll go ahead and show the Merc. I am using an Infinity Merc, Infinity, Fortitude, and Dario's Visage. I recommend, if you're using a Infinity, to go ahead and switch to Lightning. And if you switch to the Lightning, you're going to want to use either Mage Fist, or what I recommend, I don't have a pair here, is Trangle's Claws. They offer an extra 20 faster cast rate, and Mage Fist in this situation aren't bad. They do give +1 to fire skills, but we're not on a lightning build. You're not going to use fire skills anyway, so whatever. But it also, if you don't roll perfect spirit, you can also throw these on to get you over the breakpoint of 105, or if you're lightning, the reason you want these is the lightning breakpoint is 117. So you put these on and we'll literally have 125 faster cast rate, which is well above the lightning cap. Also, here's a bug Tal armor. I just have this in here just because. Pretty cool item. A lot of people haven't seen a bug Tal, so there you go. There's a bug Tal Rasha armor. Obviously, I'm not going to use one, but yeah, there it is. Yeah. So, obviously, I'm not going lightning on this build. I would recommend 100%, If you have an Infinity Merc, switch to Lightning. With Tal Rasha set, it's going to be much better. But I wanted to play this build because without an Infinity Merc, this build that I have works amazing, especially with the Tal Rasha set. First, let's check out this. Pretty standard. Just enough strength to wear our gear, enough dex to wear our gear, and everything else in the vitality. And you can see we're maxed res. Now into our build. So this is normally the build that I start with. A lot of people start out with Blizzard, but I've gotten so tired of Blizzard over the years. This build that I have just makes it a little bit easier to deal with some immunes and kind of opens things up a little more to farm different areas. Plus it's still amazing for farming bosses, which I think is one of the great things for Sorc. We've got Frozen Orb maxed, we've got Cold Mastery maxed, and then we got points in the Ice Bolt. Then we also have Shiver Armor. You could use Frozen Armor if you want, Chilling Armor if you, doesn't matter. I like Shiver Armor, it's what I've always used, so yeah. I just continue to use Shiver Armor. But that's really it, Frozen Orb. And then because this is a dual spec build, I'm going Fireball. Now you can see that I don't have Fireball max. That's because it's actually better if you put a point into Fire Mastery and then kind of swap between these. Now, I forget what the actual formula is. I think it's like for every 10 points in these, you put a point into Fire Mastery or something, or every 5 points. I don't know. I don't worry about that too much. I just know that maxing out Fireball isn't as good as splitting. So I got my points split between Fireball, Firebolt, then I have like 1 or 2 points in the Fire Mastery. If you look it up online, there's like 100 posts of the actual math that goes into it more. I don't care about all that. You know, I just want to play the game. I don't want to become a mathematician. So I just split the points this way and just hope that it works better than pumping everything in the Fireball. And then I have a point into Warmth, just for some extra little mana regen. Then to our lightning skills, we have Static Field. Helps on bosses, although at this point I don't need them. I don't have to ever use static really. And then we've got, of course, Teleport. Telekinesis if you like to use it. I don't like to use Telekinesis. I just hate, there's so much stuff to swap between. And I play I play Berserk Barbarian a ton. And it gets so bad like switching that when I play Sorc I just don't feel like switching 500 skills. But Telekinesis is really good, especially if you get it down. You can hit waypoints from further away and stuff like that. Can make your runs a little faster. So yeah. So the reason I play this build is it's really good as a starter build, going cold and fire, and it works really well with the Tal Rasha set, which I strive, when I play Sorceress, I kind of strive to get the Tal Rasha set pretty early, because it works well with this build, and since this is a build I start with again, with the Tal Rasha set it makes it nice because it does give you this extra to all your masteries, helps pump things up a little bit, and it's a really good build, which I will show you guys. Oh, charms. For charms, I've got, of course, Torch, got Annie, got Geeds, and then I just went Cold Skillers, because Cold is like our main damage. So I went Cold Skillers, and then if you're Lightning, of course, you can go Lightning Skillers. And then I have just some Magic Find Charms. Also, when you're starting out with this build, you're not obviously going to have like all cold charms. If you do find some fire charms, just throw them in. A mix of cold, fire until you get all cold skills is fine as well. But yeah, we'll get into this and I'll show you what this can do. It's a really fun build. Let's go to Frigid Highlands first. since that's like our go-to spot. You can see our fire damage was fine. We just got clapped there a little bit. But yeah, these guys are cold immune and we can just use fire on them. Obviously we have an infinity merc, so... Okay. God, I got my teleport kind of switched around from my static. I'm used to having them on different keys. Whatever. So yeah, I'll show you guys what this will do on bosses. Why'd I go to Trav? This build, a lot of people like Blizzard for this, but I really love this build. And you can actually still... Well, I killed him too fast. Ooh, mesh boots. You can actually still do the moat trick with Frozen Orb. It just doesn't work quite as great. But you can do it, or you can also stand back here and fireball. So you can still do the moat trick if you don't have good lightning res early on with this build. So yeah, that's why I like the build, because it still works great even with the moat trick. Not quite as good as Blizzard, but it's really nice for other things. It's really good for farming some Andy. And look at me, I didn't put my... yeah, make sure to keep your armor up. I don't think I put my frozen armor up a single time. But yeah, make sure you keep your armor up. It really does help, especially during teleporting. If something hits you while you're teleporting, it'll freeze them so they don't keep stun locking you. So it's pretty good to use. Let's see if I can... There, you can see it kind of freezes them, slows them down. So armor's definitely worth keeping up. And you can see Andy just gets melted with fire. Ooh, Morning Star and Brandy Stock. I don't want none of that stuff. But yeah, you can see you can take out Mephisto and Andy pretty good with full towels. Not too bad at all. And yeah, we scored ourselves some Natalia's boots. Too bad we've already done the Natalia set, right? Watch that. Make sure you guys watch that one. But yeah, there we go.
Good day.
And that's how you farm for Natalia's set, is with the Tal Rasha sorc. But seriously, this is a fun build. You can still do all your normal stuff. You can actually farm pits with this really easy. There are cold immunes there, but we've got a fireball, so who cares? Also, you can farm, your typical like ancient tunnels, whatever. Pendle, Eldritch, Shank go down pretty decently with this build. So yeah, really good set. Good starter set, and I'm sad that this is the end of the sets. I'll have to maybe I'll make some Magic Find videos for you guys. Getting closer and closer to D2R time, so yeah, maybe I'll make some Magic Find builds to help you guys decide what you want to play. But that's it for the class sets, so I will see you guys in the next video.